Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another rendition of the Bros in the Berg podcast. We're back. I know we said we would stop skipping episodes. We lied. Deal with it. We're still your favorite podcast. We don't record podcasts in the month of March. You know what? Yep. And you're back for the month of April and for the foreseeable future. And you're going to enjoy every minute that our luscious voices grace your ears. I'm Ryan Doyle, joined by my co-host Robbie Bergstone, with our executive producer and 90% of the talent on this show, Connor Doyle.
Yeah. Say less.
I can't believe that we skipped the month of March, seeing that it's one of the best sports months in the entire year.
We physically did not have a podcast on March Madness, which I think really we no longer can call ourselves a sports podcast.
Yeah,
just because of that.
I think that's true. Well, let's try to run down week by week why we weren't able to record. As I said earlier before we started, the first week I went to the ER. Don't worry, I'm fine. But that was
Connor thought he had a stroke. Didn't have a stroke.
That is exactly what happened, and thankfully did not have a stroke. But yeah, so I thought I had a stroke. That was week 1. Week 2, Ryan didn't wake up, and Robbie was a little idiot and didn't record with me, even though he was awake. What happened? Was Europe week 3? No, I thought Europe week 4. What was week 3? Y'all had something.
The next week, I think we were just busy. Like, was I? No, I don't think I was traveling that week. I think we just didn't.
Were you in Mexico?
Make it happen. No, I haven't been.
You were in Mexico the week before. We went to
Europe,
Rome.
I wasn't. Was I?
I thought you were in Mexico. Yeah, I thought you were.
I haven't been to Mexico since January.
Oh, we tripping, right?
I'm going next week though. We back.
Well, regardless, something happened week 3. Week 4, the boys above me went to Europe, and I would love to hear a little bit about that, gentlemen, about your Europe trip, your excursion to Rome and the Amalfi Coast and France. Go ahead.
Not make it to the Amalfi Coast, but
yeah. That's right. Actually, I did hear that. Yeah. So let's run down the story a little bit. What happened in Europe?
Rome was great. We actually made our own little breakfast routine in Rome. We did the same thing every single morning because I don't know why. So we did. We got up. We got some soupli, which are little like fried rice balls. Is really like the best way I can describe it. Mm-hmm. And then we'd go get cappuccinos, and then somehow we'd always make our way to the Vatican. Almost every morning it felt like. I really don't know how. It's just like every morning we ended up at the Vatican.
I think we were just drawn there by the energy that the place released.
For sure.
Telling me I need to go to church more.
So that was great. And then Paris, beautiful city, but man, we picked like the worst time ever to go to Paris.
The protests and everything.
The protests that messed up our Louvre trip a little bit. They actually protested out in front of the Louvre while we were waiting in line to get inside.
The workers, some of the workers went on strike, like right in front. So that was kind of wild to watch.
So we got into the Louvre 2.5 hours when we were supposed to. We had to wait 2.5 hours to get in.
Mona Lisa is whelmed. I was whelmed by it.
So overrated.
Well, it's super small. Like, it's a lot smaller than people think it is.
And there's literally
I knew it was small.
Yeah. There's a painting in the same room that was honestly way cooler than the Mona Lisa. Like, that's like, it was very whelming for sure.
The painting in the same... Does my L key not work? Thanks. The painting in the same room as the Mona Lisa is one depicting like Jesus, Mary, and all of his like disciples at a wedding or whatever, and it's giant. I mean, it is unbelievably big.
Turning water to wine and stuff like that.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a really cool painting.
You know who painted that? Yeah.
No. I most definitely do not.
There it is.
Yeah. Good one. Resounding.
Robbie, who painted the Mona Lisa?
That'd be Leonardo.
There it is. Yep.
He's absolutely nuts. Never a question.
So, don't worry, I took 2 art history classes in college, so I'm basically a subject matter expert.
That's more than I've taken. I never took an art history class. So what? Any other any stories that are appropriate for the podcast, or there maybe ones that aren't appropriate for the podcast?
We honestly didn't go too crazy. I think we had 3 nights where we actually went out drinking. And only one of those was like a really late night. So it was actually like a fairly responsible.
That was the night that you and I were going to get home on 7% battery.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not
in
good.
Europe.
It was like 4 a.m.
The thing is, we knew how to get home, but the other guy staying in our Airbnb had gone back early, and he had the only set of keys, and the door automatically locked.
Nice.
So we knew how to get home, and we could get there, but it's like if our phones die, we can't call him to let us in. We just have to bang on the door.
Yeah, beat that shit into oblivion.
Yeah, but we made it. It's all good.
How were the Airbnbs?
I think pretty nice.
Yeah.
One lady left us a pretty bad review on the last one, but also
It was on your account though, so
yeah, of course it was. She said that we left trash, but like she didn't like. So we did leave trash, but we left it like in a pile by the door, like because there's no instructions on where to take it out. It's like I'm not gonna wander your building and find the dumpster. I have no idea where this is. It's like we organized it, and like didn't leave it all over the room, but she still was like they left trash. It's like all right, but it's also in Italian, so someone would have to like actually Google translate the review on my Airbnb from Italian to English. So I think we're all right.
It could be super complimentary. You just don't want to go through the effort of translating.
Right. All my other ones are good, so she can kick rocks.
What was the favorite dish had in Europe?
Carbonara.
Yeah, it sounds carbonara was very good.
I really like that
tore
sandwich.
that shit up on God.
That sandwich we got in Paris with the fried egg on top was also really good.
The
Madame
the pizza place that Ladon's buddy was running, that prosciutto pizza.
I'm over that place. I'm pretty sure that's what gave me the shits on the way back. So I'm really a little bent about that still. Actually,
we did.
We went there the last night, and Ladon and I got the same pizza, and we both got our stomachs messed up.
Oh, is that what that's what we decided was nice?
Dude, I literally was glued to the toilet for a week. It was awful. It might be TMI for the podcast, but like, it was bad.
You might need to cut. I'm just gonna say this because Connor needs to know, but I had an ass pissing counter for Robbie. Like how many times he was going to the bathroom on our flight day, and before we boarded the flight out of Rome at like 7, it was already up to 6. 6 ass pisses. He's just
Connor,
running to the toilet.
On our flight from Istanbul to Atlanta, I literally got up every hour on the hour to shit. Like I'm not even joking. It was a 12-hour flight. Like, it was brutal. And you had all
these like Turkish families just like letting their literal babies, like infants and toddlers, running around this plane. Like I almost curb stomped a 9-month-old.
And for whatever
reason,
reason,
trying to get to the can.
There are a lot of babies flying. There are a lot of babies crying on the plane, which that happens. Okay, like for whatever reason, all of these moms kept deciding to come to our row to like console them and get them to stop crying. Like they'd stand directly next to us and let them cry in our ears. I'm like, what is this? Like,
it was really unfortunate because we were at the front of the economy, like coach. So we had like all the leg room, which is great, and you could stand up in front of your seat and stretch, and you wouldn't even bother anybody. So it was really nice. But people took that opportunity to be like, wow, look at all this extra room. Let me just fucking loiter right here with my screaming toddler.
Yep. So I think we would have actually like died if we didn't have that extra leg room. Like that came in super clutch.
Yeah, agreed.
Robbie, I hope you're aware that the title of this podcast will now be titled Robbie Has Stomach Issues, and then the thumbnail is just you on a toilet, and then that's
fine. That's fine. It was a rough week. Like legitimately, I went to Indiana for work like 2 days after we got back, and it still wasn't better. Like I was still in dire straits. It was real bad.
Then he texted us. He's like, he took some like pretty much like stopping up meds.
Yeah, I took anti-diarrheal medicine to be like that's how bad it was.
I haven't looked at the toilet in 24 hours now. It's swung the opposite way.
And then you take X-Lax, and then it goes even further.
Yeah, right.
So
but we're good now. Stomach is back. Yeah. We're back 100%. So that was good.
Yeah, Ryan was sending pictures to the family group chat and like also like the counts of his steps. Y'all walked an obscene amount the first 2 days. Like that was like
that's because the little toad is to blame.
Our Italian tour guide.
We could have done that way more efficiently.
What happened? He just didn't know where he was going.
Well, he's just like you can walk everywhere in Rome.
He's going.
Yeah, but it's just like he doesn't utilize public transportation. There's so many buses and trains in Rome, and he's just like, oh, we can just walk it. It's a 15-minute walk, and 45 minutes later, we're still wandering the streets. It's like
each bus ride and each metro is €1.50. It's like, like I don't care. I'll pay that.
Exactly.
I'll pay that to get back the 45-minute walk that it potentially would have taken.
And we did a lot better job of utilizing it in Paris. Like in Paris, we took the metro everywhere because we didn't really know.
I was running that. We were running that show, and he didn't know where he was. So,
how many times has Ladon been to Italy?
I mean, his family is from there. He's been there a decent amount.
He also studied abroad for 6 months in Rome.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And he's been there for
So he like knows
2
the
months
city.
at this point.
Yeah,
okay,
he really knows the city. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Got you. So he knew like the the touristy spots versus the good food places to eat kind of thing.
Yes, and that's where we got the carbonara. Was like a good like more local place. Like we were the only Americans in this place.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I got an app. We got an app. We got carbonara. We got like chicken and fries, which is still really good, and a dessert. It was like €16 a head, and that was what?
Like per person, a head, per head.
Connor, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What was the dessert?
No, it was a chocolate cake or like flan.
Yeah.
I got the flan. That was the right decision.
I think we texted Ryan
did not.
like the first day that he was in Rome, and it was like 10 a.m. our time, and we texted him, and my mom was like, "Have you had gelato yet?" And he was like, "Twice."
Yeah. Sorry, that was the other part of our morning routine I missed. We also got gelato. That was like almost every morning.
That.
Yeah.
What flavors?
Yeah.
What was the best flavor?
Oh, so many.
They were. I mean, like I don't think we had bad gelato. Like it was all so good.
I would get everything like chocolate basically, like chocolate Nutella, just chocolate or stracciatella, or like coffee or.
I can't remember what my favorite one was called, but it was like this yellow one. That's like the sweet cream like flavored one. That one was so good.
Yeah,
I'd tear that up.
Some sweet cream.
All right. Well, but you guys got anything else you want to say about the trip before we get into this?
It was relatively affordable when you go with 4 people.
Oh yeah.
We ran the numbers like outside of our flight, which we all paid with points because shout out Chase and American Express. It was like just over $1,000 for 8 days for all of our Airbnb, food, flight, like flight to Paris. It was awesome.
Very reasonable. Yeah.
Would recommend.
Good to hear. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to the brass tacks. We're going to start off this week. We're about a week, a little less than a week from the NBA play-in, the play-in tournament that was established a few years ago. If you are unaware of how the play-in works, so the 7 and 8 seeds will play each other, and then whoever is the winner of that game will advance and become the 7 seed, and then the loser of that game will advance to a game 3. And so then the 9 and 10 seeds play each other. Whoever loses that game is eliminated, and then whoever wins that game faces whoever lost the loser of the 7 and 8 matchup, and then whoever wins that game becomes the 8th seed. So as it stands, the NBA playoff, the West is still a little jam-packed, but in terms of the play-in, the Lakers sit at the 7th seed, even after losing to the Clippers last night. The Pelicans are at the 8th seed, also 41 and 39. The Timberwolves are 40 and 40. The Thunder are 38 and 42, and sitting just outside are the Dallas Mavericks, who are also 38 and 42, but unfortunately do not have the head-to-head against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Any of those teams surprising, guys?
We're shitters. The Mavs are just so bad.
I'm surprised the Lakers are as high as 7. I'm surprised. Like if the Lakers had won last night, they were probably going to avoid the play-in, which is nuts.
Which is insane. Yep. Well, it's like
the Hornets really didn't do a good tank job either.
The Hornets don't do anything well. Have you like this is not surprising.
Why were they playing like the 2017 Warriors against PJ Washington dropped 43 on the OKC.
They beat the Mavs. They beat the Mavs back to back too, which was hilarious.
And then OKC. It's like what?
And then
we see Michael Jordan might be selling his stake in the team too.
I did see that.
That'd be huge. Which is weird to say, like
you'd like that.
Just terrible. Yeah, I mean, they've made the playoffs twice since I've been alive, and they lost in the first round. But I think they've won one playoff game.
Yeah,
since they've been back in Charlotte.
Yeah, they went to the playoffs. I don't remember.
They won the playoff twice. They went once with like Gerald Wallace and Jackson.
Once with Kemba, right?
And then once with Kemba. Yeah. Actually, I think Kemba took 2 games from the Heat.
They were the Hornets.
Like after
they were. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kemba and who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally. Bismack Biyombo, perhaps.
So, if you aren't aware,
he'll get you 10 and 6.
So obviously that play-in is for the Western Conference, and obviously the big matchup right now. So the Lakers, I know, have solidified they're at least going to be the 10 seed, so there's no way they're dropping out of the play-in. But right now, obviously the big fight is between the Mavs and the Thunder. And the Thunder have the Jazz left in their next game, and then the Memphis Grizzlies in their last game. And the Mavericks have the Bulls in their next game, and then the Spurs in the last game. So it's going to be very interesting. I think it will depend on who the Grizzlies play, if they're resting everybody or
right.
what the plan is. But I don't know.
The
man.
Mavs should beat the Spurs.
We should beat the Bulls and Spurs. Like realistically, we should. But yeah, it's gonna come down.
Like the East is already done, right? Like the East, they're no longer playing for like position, right? The Bulls are locked in. I think they're either locked in to the 10th or the 9th. They're like that's all they can do.
The only teams that are, I guess, sort of fighting, but it's not even because there are 2 games apart, are the Nets and the Heat at the 6 and the 7. But the Nets are 2 games ahead of the Heat right now. So, but yeah, so the Eastern Conference to play in currently looks like the Heat at the 7th seed, the Hawks at the 8th seed, the Raptors at the 9th seed, and the Bulls at the 10th seed. And as Ryan said, there's nobody outside that's looking into the play-in. So yeah, pretty much the Eastern Conference in terms of playoffs is all set in terms of the teams that are going to be there. But like I said, the Western Conference has a lot of questions still. Obviously, I don't think anyone's super shocked by that, given how jam-packed the West has been this entire season.
I'm so impressed the Nets are still in the playoffs after trading away KD and Kyrie.
Mikal Bridges was, I think, he was Player of the Month. It was just crazy in the East. It was an insane display by them.
We gotta give a shout out, Light the Beam, the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, we beat the Kings. We beat the Kings.
Why did we beat the Kings? Just lose. Take me out of my misery.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like Oklahoma State, right? It's like they give you a little bit of hope and then they rip it away at the last possible.
It's the hope. It's the hope that kills.
It's always
the hope.
We've literally lost the last 7 of 8, and then we fuck around and beat the Kings.
Beat the 3 seed in the West. But that's us. That's been us all season. We lose to the terrible teams. We beat the good teams. Like that's just how we are. It's so annoying and frustrating. But I mean, this is more so going back to the Western playoff picture. If I am a 1 seed, if I'm a 1 seed Nuggets or 2 seed Grizzlies, and I draw a healthy Lakers team in the first round, I'm pissed. I am pissed off that I drew the healthy Lakers team, and then because
I was thinking in the East too. I'm gonna be pissed if I pull the Hawks. Like I know the Hawks have like disappointed this year, but if Trae Young and DeJounte Murray get hot, like for a playoff series, like that's tough.
Did y'all see Capella's steal yesterday? The behind the back steal, it was obscene. It was so good. Basically, someone went up for a layup and like he pump faked it and then tried to like wrap it around Capella, and then Capella no look stole it like behind his back, like palmed it. It was obscene. It was so cool.
Could never. I'd have to actually be able to palm a basketball.
Yeah, indeed. Manly hands.
But yeah, Robbie, can you remind me, or you probably don't remember, but do any of us remember our early season predictions for the NBA Finals matchups?
I know I said the Nuggets and got flamed.
Well, they're the 1 seed. I mean, but like I said, they're not happy about if they draw the Lakers, and especially because like, if the Lakers somehow overtake the Warriors, you draw the Warriors, like you're pissed off both ways.
I guess that wasn't early season. I said that the Nuggets would still beat the Suns after they traded for KD. Sorry, that was the take.
I don't remember early season. I said something obscene. I know I did. I don't remember what I said though.
I probably said the Nets again. I'm always a Nets.
That's tough though. Like that's tough because you didn't know KD and Kyrie were gonna get traded.
Well, I don't know. Well, even so, I think I still got blamed for it because they like did terrible like the year before.
They did in fact get swept last year.
It was I can't remember what stat it was. I think it was a couple weeks ago, but the I think it was the new Nets basically with like the new roster. The main 3 guys have already had more playing time together than Kyrie, Harden, and KD ever did.
That's crazy.
It was like 3 weeks ago too. It was obscene. But yeah, in terms of the NBA playoffs, is there anything else you guys want to mention or look at?
No, I just saw an interesting headline pop up on my phone right now. If I can read it, related to the NBA.
But of course,
Lauri Markkanen will have to go back to Finland this summer and fulfill his Finnish military requirements.
There you go.
Holy crap, that is actually huge.
That's actually interesting. I didn't.
Some countries
it does
waive it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's going to affect like his NBA season, but they're saying this summer he has to go back to Finland.
That's great.
Which honestly is like kind of scary with everything going on with Russia and Ukraine. Like Russia is not happy that Finland joined NATO, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Wow, that is actually crazy. Yeah. Well, I mean, for the Jazz sake, I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be in the playoffs. So he obviously, I don't know how different it makes it in terms of the requirements and stuff, but that is definitely interesting. In terms of the NBA, if we got nothing else, so like I said, the play in is next week, so we'll keep you updated on that tournament. Come on, Mavs, do a little better. We're gonna move on. This is obviously gonna swing more towards you, Robbie. The Masters teed off today. Scotty Scheffler opening as the favorite. He was the winner last year, and people think he's gonna go back to back. Robbie, what are your thoughts on the Masters so far?
Best tournament of the year in golf. One day I will get tickets from the lottery. I keep telling myself that. It hasn't happened yet. I also have not even seen the leaderboard yet today.
So Rom is tied at first with 7 back.
Victor Hovland.
Yeah. And Koepka's up
Tiger,
there too.
Tiger
shot
Open
a
plus 2.
74.
Yeah, Tiger Open plus 2. Yeah, Brooksy's up there. Cam Young, Jason Day.
So something I forgot.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's something I forgot, and I don't know how I went through life not being aware of this, but I didn't realize, I guess, that if you ever win the tournament, you get invited back every year. I didn't know that.
So the Masters is the one that the live players are going to be able to like keep playing in.
Yeah.
So all the other majors, I think you get a 5-year exemption if you win, like US Open, Open Championship, PGA. If you win, you get 5 years. And then otherwise you have to qualify normally, which is usually through the World Golf Rankings.
Yeah.
The Live Tour does not give them World Golf Ranking points. It's like Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka are like really far down the World Golf Rankings list right now.
Yeah.
It's like another couple of years, like the only major they'll be able to play on is the Masters, unless they come back to the PGA Tour.
Speaking of the Live commissioner was not invited to the Masters, or CEO or commissioner.
It's Greg Norman. He's the commissioner, and he's a former Masters winner, and was not invited to the Masters.
Not invited back. I think their words were to avoid drama, which is honestly probably smart. That's probably the right thing to do at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Masters opening, obviously Robbie's gonna keep you updated. He's a big golf guy over there. Shoot, what else I wanted to say something else about the Masters. I can't remember what I did though. I mean, not they always do the par 3 thing the day before the.
Yeah. Someone had 2 straight hole-in-ones.
Yeah, yesterday. That was crazy. I saw that on Sports Center. I was like, holy crap, that's insane.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think Justin Thomas is 2 under right now. He's been playing really well lately, so keep an eye on him. Maybe make a charge. 5 shots back out of Thursday is definitely not out of it in any sense of the word. So keep an eye on that. Also, rain rolling through this weekend, which
I did see that.
May delay the times and also is probably going to help them shoot a little bit lower. They won't be able to hit the ball as far, but when the Masters greens are so hard and fast, like when it's dry out, it makes it a lot more difficult if it's not raining. So that could be something to keep an eye on as well.
Ryan, you got anything you want to say about the Masters?
No, right now I'm just kind of looking at some of the guys far down the leaderboard. Previous winners, Larry Mize and Sandy Lyle, they're playing in their last tournament ever, and again they're previous winners, so they can keep coming back. They shot a +9, +7, but apparently they were having a good ass time.
It's like when Fred Couples used to play every year and just like be awful, but just like had more fun than anyone
else. That's awesome though. Yeah, that's the most fun thing.
Age 65 and 64 out there swinging the old clubs.
I love that.
My apologies to Freddie Couples. He's 1 under par right now. So shout out him. That's my bad.
I mean,
He's playing well.
I think at that point you're just like a free game of golf. Like that's all it is,
you're just trying to make the cut and get a paycheck, right?
Hey,
I'm gonna make the cut. And
he's tied with Dustin Johnson. He's doing well.
That's what I'm saying. Where's Rory?
Couples is 63. I have no idea.
So the thing that I've always found cool about the Masters, and obviously they don't do this in any other sporting event, but they still to this day require you to hand up your phones. So you are not allowed to have your phones on the course, which I think is always a cool thing. You have to be in the moment.
Another fun headline I did see today: Kevin Na was 7 over through 9 holes and just withdrew, just straight up like stopped playing through 9 holes. He just dipped. He's like, nah, I'm out.
Why did Zalatoris drop out?
Zalatoris withdrew?
Yeah.
I don't see that on mine. Bubba Watson's also 5 over, former champion, pretty far down the leaderboard.
Yep.
Bryson's 2 over, bum. Rory is even through 15.
He's injured. Zalatoris pulled out before the start of the round.
Oh, okay.
Back injury. Very well.
Well, cool. So that's what we got on the Masters. Moving on to a quick NFL headline. Like I said, there's limited amount of headlines, but so the Ravens may select a quarterback in the first round amidst the Lamar Jackson contract issues. Obviously, if you have not seen, teams are not willing to put up the cash for Lamar Jackson that they've been willing to put up for a lot of other quarterbacks. And the Ravens are amongst those parties where they're hesitant to give him the amount of money that he wants, because reportedly he wants at least what Deshaun Watson's earning. Which is
already a stupid contract.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. I would rather
especially
pay Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay, taking out of the fact that Deshaun Watson's a piece of shit, would you? Because Lamar Jackson hasn't finished a season in forever. He hasn't finished a season since his MVP year.
I said that mostly because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
I
he is.
wouldn't pay either of those two. Number
No,
one, because
agreed.
like he's an MVP, yes, but it's like been 5 years removed since he's been an MVP, right? And those quarterbacks don't have as long as the shelf life. Like it just is what it is.
And Lamar, like, there's a report that Lamar got a pretty decent contract offer. It was a lot of guaranteed money. And he's saying that it's not what they offered, but the Ravens are saying that it is what they offered. But of course, he's representing himself. He doesn't have an agent, which is a whole nother wrinkle in the process as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't blame teams for not wanting to pay Lamar. It's the Cam Newton syndrome. Like, you see like what happens to these mobile quarterbacks. They just take a beating. And
did you see that video of him? We do that open workout.
Damn right.
Who are these 32? They're not 32 randoms that are better than me. It's like, who are these randoms getting jobs?
That's the CTE talking. You just
Cam
smile and wave.
The thing is, like, Cam would be a fine backup now, I'm sure. Like his ego would never let him be a good backup quarterback. Talent wise, he could be, but like,
dude, and someone was like Cam Newton at pro day, and then it was like literally him throwing the ball, and this guy ran a 15-yard slant, and he threw it at his feet. It was like, oh.
Yeah, that is the full Cam Newton experience. It's either at his feet or 100 miles per hour at his fucking skull. Like, there's no in between.
You watched him uncork like a 60-yard bomb too, and hit the guy right in the hands. I'm like, yeah, see, he can still huck it. No one's doubting that.
Dude, if you played football in college, you can hit a dude with no pads when you're just standing there 6 yards downfield. Like, they always show us, like, look at this throw from this pro day. It's like, dude, like, Stetson Bennett probably did that too, but he's not going in the first round. Like, come on,
not the Stetson Bennett.
He's busy knocking on doors in Dallas.
Yeah, I guess.
Pissed drunk. It's 5 a.m. Me, for real.
So I mean, obviously, if we had recorded 2 weeks ago, I would have had a lot of headlines going down with the NFL because there was quite a lot of contracts and teams.
Panthers traded for a number 1 overall pick. We didn't even talked about that.
Oh, go ahead. It's all you.
Yeah, how we feel?
I've already made this be known that if we don't draft C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, I will actually abandon.
Why would you not? Like, there's no like.
I don't know. I don't.
Will Levis.
Will Levis or Anthony Richardson that we could have gotten at 9.
Imagine you pick Will Levis.
Again, Connor, if it happens, I will not cheer for this team anymore. It won't happen. It will not happen.
Would make Jerry Jones look like a competent owner if that actually goes down.
When's the draft?
I would cry.
We have to do the live reactions like we did last year.
Oh yeah, we do. We actually do.
100%. We have to watch that with Rob.
Oh yeah, because you have the number 1 pick. 100%. Yeah.
Oh, Hulk smash his computer.
If we don't take Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, I will be logging off immediately.
So that's in 3 Thursdays. It's on the 27th, so that's 3 Thursdays from now.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. All right.
Excellent.
Might have to get that scheduled.
Yeah, got that on my calendar already.
I can't remember what I was gonna ask. In terms of the Panthers, I don't know. The Panthers always felt like more of like the CJ Stroud team to me. Like I feel like they'd be more interested in Stroud than Young. That's
been the speculation, especially with Frank Reich. Like he likes his tall quarterbacks. Like every quarterback he's worked with, especially in Indy, pretty tall. I think the argument is that Stroud probably has a higher floor than Bryce Young just because of injuries. But Bryce Young, if he stays healthy, is gonna be better than CJ Stroud.
It's just like
at least I think that's the thinking, right?
We're gonna get some hate for that comment.
Well, I get like the being concerned about, but dude, sometimes the concern about the measurables are so it doesn't make sense to me. Like I understand he's 5'10" a quarter, and that is small. That is small for a quarterback. But like, look what he did in college.
But Russ and Drew Brees, like.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look what he did in college. Like, I know maybe the linemen gain a couple inches in the pros, but like even then, I don't see how that affects you too much. I don't know.
If you're a short quarterback, you have to be good at throwing lanes. Like, you're not going to be a good college quarterback if you can't figure out how to find your throwing lanes when guys are taller than you. So at this point, like he's figured it out, right? Like,
I understand they're very different skill sets, and I understand that Kyler Murray has more of an advantage because he's a running quarterback at being that small. But he's what, he's 5'9"? He's not. But
Bryce, I mean, it's not like Bryce Young. It's not like he can't run. He's just not a running quarterback.
Yeah,
he can move around in the pocket. And,
100%. Well, yeah, just for comparison,
he's more mobile than Drew Brees was.
Yeah, 100%. I mean. How tall was Brees? How tall was he listed?
6 foot, but he's
with cleats on.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Interesting. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I think both those guys will actually probably be pretty good. It's the best quarterback draft class in a long time, probably, because we had a few really down years of quarterbacks. So
I do think the Panthers are trying to play mind games with the Texans a little bit.
Oh, I think so
like
too.
See if they can figure out who the Texans want and be like, that's the guy we're gonna draft, to see if you can get them to trade up with you. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't try. Like, honestly, like if you don't have a preference between the two, like see if you can get them to trade you something to move up one spot. Like, why not?
I 100% think that's what's happening. I told that because my roommate Gabe is a Texans fan. I was like, I definitely think the Panthers are just basically being like, oh yeah, we're gonna pick whoever you want, and just that.
Right.
They still have Texans fans?
Dude, they signed some decent people. I'm not gonna lie, the Texans were making
they
some
have
moves.
a good offseason. Yeah,
dude, the wide receiver core is like not bad. Oh, speaking of,
when your entire cap space is available, I mean, you're gonna make some decent sightings.
Speaking of, Brandon Cooks is now a Dallas Cowboy, Ryan. I think that's actually a pretty good pickup. I like that signing. What was that reaction, bro?
Can you imagine being the Eagles and paying Zeke $11 million a year when you could have kept Miles Sanders for 6?
Great pickup by the Panthers, by the way. Another really good signing. Great signing.
They got Miles Sanders? Dude, I missed some of these.
Yes, on a
4-year, contract. Like $25 million deal. It's a steal.
And like Deontay Foreman was running wild behind our offensive line last year. Imagine what Miles Sanders is gonna do.
I saw that. Number one for my dynasty was bricked up, and for the Panthers, like to actually have a young, capable back that probably will be good for that length of contract.
Yeah.
When you say the Eagles are signing Zeke, when did that happen?
They signed him.
I thought they were like looking.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I'm not getting anything of that. You got bamboozled. Fake account. Ryan got photos.
You got April Fools?
It was definitely an April Fools. Oh, 100%. He got got.
He got got.
I didn't look into it too long.
You got got.
Yeah, you saw Zeke and just started freaking out, just getting irrationally angry.
Live on the pod.
Can we cut that?
No, Brian got
absolutely not a chance.
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, I actually was kind of sad that we didn't get to talk about a lot of the signings because at this point I've forgotten a lot of them. But obviously, as the season gets closer and closer, and fantasy football gets closer and closer, we'll address that more. But moving on from the NFL to a season that it just feels like it just ended. It's starting right back up again. The MLB, professional baseball, is back with the pitch clock newly instilled. Funnily enough, Shohei Ohtani becoming the first person ever to have a pitch clock violation as a batter and a pitcher, which it happened a lot quicker than I actually thought it would, which is kind of funny.
So
that's a great
how
stat.
long? Yeah. How long does Shohei Ohtani last in Anaheim this year? Before they trade him, before they trade him, because they're still a terrible team.
I know,
I think they might make the playoffs this year.
Ooh, there's a take.
If they were able to keep them, I think the AL West is so fucking good.
Yeah,
like the Astros very well could repeat. The Mariners will make the playoffs.
And who else, right? Who's up there right now?
The Rangers and the A's are just gonna feed. The A's will call it a good season if they don't lose 100 games.
You guys want to hear my favorite stat from the first week of baseball?
Go ahead,
please.
So there was actually last night. There were 13 AAA games.
Oh, wow.
11 of those 13 AAA games had more attendance than the Oakland A's game last night.
Bring back Moneyball.
Wow.
11 AAA games had more attendance than the Oakland A's last night.
That's quite a stat.
Is insane.
Were the Warriors playing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not there anymore.
I mean, that's just like the A's are terrible. Their ballpark is terrible. Like they haven't updated it in forever. Like it's just what happens when like the owners are cheap, which is like what the A's are known for. But like at some point, got to do something.
Yeah, the Warriors, because the Warriors aren't at Oracle anymore. They're at Chase. They moved away from it. Okay.
They're still in the Bay Area though.
Yeah, it was a Bay Area comment.
Wait, that can't be right.
You ugly bitch.
Come on, bro.
Sorry.
That was just so unnecessary.
That is really rude.
But yeah.
Do we make World Series projections?
The Rangers
we won't remember in
beat the Astros in the playoffs. Look at
Paul.
Hey, we swept the Phillies.
What kind of odds can I get on that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but my roommate Gabe, like he's an Astros fan, like vehemently follows baseball, and I told him, I was like, could the Rangers and Astros like play in the playoffs? And he's like, yes, and I'm actually kind of concerned about it because he said we looked really good in the first few games. DeGrom was terrible in the first game.
I was gonna say DeGrom did awful.
He was good last night. He had like 11 strikeouts last night. But yeah, dude, the first game was terrible.
It was like the first time he'd like given up an earned run on opening day ever or something like that.
Like
some insane stat.
He gave up like 6 runs that. It was nuts.
I know, but I'm saying it was like the first time he'd given up an earned run opening day ever, and he gave up 6.
And we still
we lost the series against the Orioles. Like, what are we getting excited about?
Yeah, but like we beat like 7-2 in the last game though. Like, you know what I mean?
Braves play their first game tonight in Atlanta.
Okay.
Already 5-1 coming
Yeah.
off a sweep of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Braves looking hot.
Well, let's see. The worst team, and to no surprise, the worst team right now are the Nationals. Actually tied with the Kansas City Royals. I thought the Royals were a little better than that. I mean, I don't know baseball super well, but
I think it might be. Do the Braves go back? I don't know.
They're good enough to, and the crazy thing is their entire core is locked up for so long that they're always going to be like a threat to make the World Series. I don't know. It'll depend on the pitching and if they can stay healthy for once, but they could. There's a chance.
I think it's probably going to be Astros. Number one, because the Yankees are kind of banged up. They've already lost like a lot of dudes for the year. I don't know how that all happened. I think it's going to be Astros and either Dodgers or Padres. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
I'm gonna go. I like the Astros. I think the Astros are just so experienced. They have basically their whole team still. In the NL, a team that's really impressed the first couple of games, young core, a lot of energy around the team. The Brewers look really good.
I did.
And they took the Mets to the woodshed this weekend.
I think the Mets are going to get embarrassed and miss the playoffs.
It make me so happy.
Wow.
That just warms my heart.
I think the Phillies and the Braves will play really well and just will like wax the Mets whenever they play them.
The Braves have the Mets number for whatever reason. They just really have the Mets number.
I would be so happy if both the Yankees and the Mets somehow miss the playoffs. I mean, nothing would fill my heart more with fucking joy.
I think the Rays are going to win the AL East.
They started out hot.
Yep. They still have a lot of that team that made it to the World Series not too long ago, too.
Yep. They need to bring back the Devil Ray unis. Those were like the sexiest unis in baseball.
It sucks that they have the worst stadium in baseball and they're so good.
Yep.
All right.
The Trop is a mess. I'm
going for a rogue pick. 2 teams that you guys aren't. One of them's going to be like, what the hell? And the other one's going to be like, what the hell? So, I'm going with the Yankees out of the AL. I'm going with the Pirates out of the NL.
Okay.
We can end the podcast. Yeah, we can end the podcast there. The Pirates based on what?
Based on they're good. They're a good team.
I got Astros Brewers. My spice pick is the Brewers. I think they're gonna make some noise this year.
Ryan, you didn't like that? You didn't like that take?
It's the Pirates, dude. Like, what are we doing?
Might as well just say the Reds at that point. Like, I don't know if we want to pick shitty NL Central teams. Like
Reds fan. I'm moving up to Cincinnati for our podcast listeners. I'm gonna be a huge Reds fan. Fuck.
I can't wait to come up to visit you and watch my beloved FC Cincinnati play some MLS.
FC Cincinnati.
Will you come up so we can crush some brews and watch the Reds play ball and lose to whoever they're playing?
We have to go to Rheingeist though. That's my one stipulation.
Very well. We can make that work.
So moving on from the MLB, one more NFL one that I forgot to mention. This happened, I think, today or yesterday. So apparently, reportedly, Tyreek Hill is allegedly retiring after his current contract expires with the Dolphins. I believe that will be in 2025. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a little surprising given that it's a receiver who's at, a very good point in his career, who's still at probably near the top of his game. But I mean, you see nowadays that people retiring earlier and earlier just to make sure they maintain their health as much as possible. So interesting.
He's made his money. Of
course. 100%.
It would not be a decision that I would expect out of him, but I think it's definitely like
he has enough things going on outside the NFL too that I'm not. So
he's a Hall of Famer still.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think there's
another piece of shit human being, but that's most of the NFL. It feels like at this point.
Yeah.
So.
So moving on to that. So like Robbie said, missed March Madness, but we can review the national championship game. UConn are your men's college basketball national champions, defeating San Diego State University. And really, like, I think I saw this tweet the other day. March Madness must be the only tournament in history that gets more boring the longer it goes on. Because like I remember talking, because it was like, what was the matchup? It was 5-9, 4-5, or whatever, which is like a relatively lower seeded Final Four, and I
Very
felt like
much so.
nobody cared. Like everyone's like, oh, okay.
It's also because UConn just ran through everyone.
Yeah,
UConn didn't have a single close game in the tournament.
Yep. I also saw this argument. Are we considering calling UConn a blue blood, like their men's program?
Yes.
You think they're a blue blood?
Why is that a debate? Why is that a debate?
Whoa! Don't scream at me.
They have 5 championships in the last 24 years.
Yeah.
That's for March Madness. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget that Auburn is a blue.
Who asked that?
It
was on Twitter. I can't. Actually, I think it was like SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, or something like that. It was like, oh, is UConn a blue blood? You know, it makes sense.
They're on a different level than like the Kentuckys, Kansas, UNC, and Dukes of the world, right? Like there's tiers to this. Like they're on a level with like Villanova,
Gonzaga.
maybe Michigan State, Syracuse.
They've had more success though than some of those teams you just mentioned in the last 25 years.
Yeah. I think the other one I saw with them was like Indiana, because Indiana had a similar run where they won a bunch of championships in like a 20-year span.
Yeah,
and now so it's like they're cheeks.
Right, but UConn was cheeks before 1999 too, right? Yeah. Like they haven't had that sustained success that like the Carolina Dukes of the world have had.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to UConn, and honestly, the one that was a lot more interesting and the one that had a lot more viewership behind it, the 2023 LSU are your women's college basketball champion. I watched this full game. I legitimately sat down. I watched this full game. I didn't watch the men's.
I wanted to.
I didn't care. I didn't care about the men's, but I cared about the women's.
Sleeping.
I have said this to multiple of my friends. Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers, if you know who Paige Beckers is, she's on UConn right now. She was hurt, unfortunately, this past year. Mm-hmm. Those two are going to revolutionize women's basketball. Like, it's just Caitlin Clark. She also just won the Wooden Award for best player, obviously. Just an obscene level of basketball. Just so good, unbelievably talented.
The NCAA will make a Caitlin Clark and Paige Bucher's national championship game happen next year. You can go and write that down. They'll make it happen. I mean, it's
yeah.
So, and this is coming from a place of pure ignorance. Traditionally women's college basketball, do they stay in for all 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no point in going pro.
More
really? Especially
with
NIL deals now.
Well, that's what Angel Reese said.
Angel
Reese.
I think both. Yeah, I bet she's making more.
Well, that's what she said. She was like, Angel Reese has been in contact with some like the WNBA teams or whatever, and she's making like way more than the top players of the WNBA are in college now.
The WNBA might have different rules than the NBA too, because I feel like you never see them declare early. So I wonder if they have the 3-year rule like college football has.
It might be.
That would make sense.
I don't know. I have no idea, but it seems like they definitely stay in school longer.
Yeah. But yeah, so huge congrats to LSU. They had a great game. The refs were bad. Like, Clark got a really terrible technical foul.
Shit was weak.
It was so bad, and that unfortunately that was one of her personal fouls. And like their top 3 players had 4 fouls by the third quarter, and so it was like, oof, they were kind of.
And the whole like hand in the face thing, the ring pointing was so like blown out of proportion. Like even Caitlin Clark was like, I literally didn't care. Like it's just a part of basketball. Like honestly.
Yep. But yeah, so like I said, huge congrats to the LSU women's team. We'll see what happens. That coach too, she won 3 national championships at Baylor, and obviously this is her second season at LSU. So congrats to the coach. Hopefully we see Iowa there again, and like Robbie said, they'll probably force an Iowa UConn national championship next year. So that would be interesting.
Gonna watch each of them drop 40. It's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, in terms of sports, that's all I have, guys. Robbie, do you wanna introduce the draft that we're doing today?
Yeah, today we are going to wrap up this episode of the podcast with a states draft. We're gonna leave it pretty open to how you want to draft the states. You know, it could be vacation appeal, it could just be general vibes that you get from the state. We're gonna leave it, pretty open ended. But you gotta pick 5 states to assemble your team.
I would counter. I want the 5 worst states. That's what
You want to do a worst states draft?
I want the worst states. I want to piss people off.
That's gonna get spicy, and you
Yeah.
know what? I'm here for it. Let's do it.
I guess we've reversed it on its head.
Yeah.
The one honestly that I would say I people are gonna slander me for. But
That's fine. That's all right. Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
All right. So a quick audible. We're doing the worst states draft.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, can base it on whatever you want. You know, the fact there's nothing there, just the vibes you get from people in the state.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like their state flag or something. Whatever you want to do. You know, it's really open ended.
Yeah. All right. So can you randomize that draft order, Rob? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. We're gonna go Ryan, Connor, Robbie.
New Jersey.
Oh, that was
number 1
quick. Oh my lord! What is your beef with New Jersey?
Here's how you know that New Jersey is a bad state, because everyone from New Jersey that's within an hour of New York City just says they're from New York City.
Yeah,
every single one. Every single one.
That's for clout.
It's a shithole. The people are shitholes. It's expensive to live. Like, there's nothing good about it.
Atlantic City is like Vegas if you took everything that was cool about Vegas out of it
and then made it addicted to heroin. That's what Atlantic City is.
Yeah, it's a good call. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I guess that's a consensus number one. I did not have that on my draft board.
I don't know if that's my number one, but
it shouldn't drop out of the first round.
Ryan was so quick to that. New Jersey.
New Jersey.
I guess it's me. This is purely personal, and there are people who love it. I am an avid hater. Give me Florida as my first rounder pick. I have a few reasons for this. One, I'm a ginger. I hate the beach.
That's wild.
Because I burn so easily.
Florida in the first round is actually wild.
Hey, it's a horrendous take.
Let me give my reasons. I hate the beach because I'm a redhead. I burn incredibly easily. There's a lot of old people, and I don't like that. Third of all, it's like, I mean, and if you like Florida, like the thing is you love Florida, right? Because you're like more of a party person. That's not me. Like, that's not my vibe. I'm not like a, frat party person kind of thing. So it's like, and that's what, all the beaches are when it comes to spring break and summer and all that. So not my thing.
Woo, PCP.
So I'm not a Florida fan. Also, it's gonna submerge underwater in a few years. So who's really winning? You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Not you with that.
So I got back-to-backs here. The first one, I'm gonna go with the state. Like, I'm not sure that anyone actually lives in this state.
Yeah.
Like, apparently they do, but I'm not convinced because I don't think there's anything actually there. I'm gonna go North Dakota.
That's a great.
Like, what the fuck is going on in North Dakota? Like, there's literally nothing there. I don't believe that anyone actually lives in North Dakota.
So I feel like you took the wrong Dakota. To be completely
we haven't had a swing around.
Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota. I know that something exists in South Dakota.
Okay, that might. Be
that was my entire reasoning of why North Dakota is the worst Dakota was because of Mount Rushmore.
Okay,
I got that confused. I thought that was okay. No, continue. Please ignore me. Please continue.
Okay.
As we often do.
For my second pick, I have two in mind.
I hope you have the same two, because I'm going to take whichever the other one is, I think.
I am going to go with Mississippi.
Yep, I'm going to take the other one.
Great pick.
I mean,
great pick.
Like being in school in Alabama, we spent some time in Mississippi. I've actually spent time there, and like,
dude, we spent.
There's no redeeming quality.
Get alcohol because it's cheaper. That's all we went to.
We went to Stark Vegas, and we also drove through there when we went to Baton Rouge.
Drove through there to get to Louisiana.
Also, the only airport I know of there is Meridian, and like actually a kind of a cool airport. It only has 2 gates, and they have free slushies. So shout out the Meridian Airport. But other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot going for you in Mississippi.
Yeah, I got it. I'm backing you heavy on that one. I ain't gonna lie.
You used to have Coach Prime, but he's not even there anymore. So.
Yeah, now he's in Colorado.
See, here's where, like, if we posted this to TikTok, like, people would be pissed off at the fact that we hadn't said Ohio yet. But I'm not taking Ohio because I don't know.
That was the other one I was thinking.
I don't understand the Ohio hate. I don't think Ohio's that bad. Like, realistically,
you got the 3 big C's: Cincinnati, Cleveland. Everyone loves Columbus.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't you dare!
The state that I'm currently residing in. Give me Oklahoma.
That's valid. That was on my mind too.
I think the worst public school system in the entirety of the United States. OKC is fine. Tulsa is fine, and then you have nothing. Like on the other each side of Stillwater and Norman, there's approximately nothing on both sides. So also Ryan I think likes to refer to it as occupied North Texas, which I would very much agree with. So Oklahoma is just Texas's younger step sibling that nobody actually likes. So I'm gonna take Oklahoma with my number 2 pick.
I got the back-to-back already locked and loaded. You know what it is. We're going to the Midwest for this one.
Oh.
Second pick for me, Indiana. Indiana.
Hey.
It's terrible. No one likes anything.
I lived there for 6 months. Watch yourself.
The Indianapolis 500 though.
Indianapolis is sick. I like
anything outside of Indy.
Bloomington's cool. I like Bloomington.
Oh, there we go. There's a few things, I guess.
I don't think Indiana's that bad.
Maybe like a 5th rounder. I don't know about a second round.
Kansas. Going with Kansas for my 3rd pick. Yeah. What the fuck's in Kansas?
This is just a lot of Central America.
Yeah, we know it's called the Midwest.
It's flat.
We can't pick Missouri though because my mom would get very upset. So
I didn't have Missouri on my board.
I wouldn't have Missouri on the list anyways. Yeah.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. What I'm about to say.
You already had one.
Yeah,
in your first round.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go for the more inconspicuous, a non-contiguous state. Give me Alaska.
Awful pick.
The number 3, the biggest state in the U.S. Why? What does Alaska have that we're back in?
Alaska's awesome, dude. You great skiing, beautiful Northern Lights, dude. The only state you can see the Northern Lights in.
Oh, I don't like.
I've been to Anchorage. Anchorage was excellent. I really enjoyed my time.
I've been to Alaska.
When?
You don't remember it though.
I was 18 months old, but I was there.
I don't remember hearing about this.
Shit, you don't remember that, Connor? You weren't born.
I don't remember hearing about
it. With my next pick, I cannot believe this state lasted this.
Oh, here we go.
Like legitimately can't. West Virginia.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but like
Charleston is one of the worst towns I've ever stopped in. Like there's like one subway and like somehow there's no other food. Yeah, we were going. I think I was going to Cincinnati, and we stopped in Charleston, West Virginia, and not great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coal, and that's about it. They did give us Nick Saban though, so I guess I do have to make a stipulation there. That's like the one good thing to come from West Virginia is Nick Saban. But
there you go.
Other than that, man, there's not a lot going on.
Yeah. Fair.
My next pick. It's a tough one. I have a couple in mind.
Loading up another hot take.
I'm gonna go with a state that has worse corn. The worse corn than Nebraska. We're gonna go with Iowa.
Yeah.
There's corn, and it's not as good as Nebraska corn. So
that's a good 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good value.
For similar reasons of there being just pretty much not. Actually, I don't know if I can do that now. I feel like I'm gonna get hate.
We have Alaska and Florida on your list.
Yeah, you're already doing awful. Your scouting team is throwing once again.
I don't know how this keeps happening to you.
Just have different opinions.
You need to make a coaching change.
Yeah.
See, okay. Here's what I was gonna go to New Mexico, but then I thought about the skiing and how that's actually a pretty big deal in New Mexico, and especially in Santa Fe. So I'm kind of struggling right now, actually, with where I want to go to.
Can I pick New Jersey again?
No.
I'm gonna go with Wyoming. Like, what's going on in Wyoming?
People really like Wyoming,
but like, what's happening in Wyoming? Like, I mean, a few of y'all's picks were just like, what? Nobody knows what's going on over there, and I feel kind of the same way.
A lot
Wyoming.
of crime avoidance. People that
they have Jackson Hole. People really like Jackson Hole to go skiing and like hang out. But.
And
it's just kind of random. It's just Wyoming's like the middle child. Like you just forget about it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel that. So I'm gonna round out mine. The state just it's just dirty. It's kind of gross. You know, the people smell odd. They're just a little unhinged, and that's gonna be Louisiana.
I don't like that pick. I don't like that. I don't.
Dude, you ain't been around them Cajuns.
I was in New Orleans.
Dude, wild. So like people make jokes that like LSU smells like corn dogs.
No, yeah,
like,
Ryan
that's
told
like
me about
living done, but that's about it.
They actually do though. Like we literally got out of the car in Baton Rouge for a game, and the first thing I smelled was corn dogs. Like it was the most weird thing I've ever experienced in my life, and it didn't go away. So I don't hate that pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robbie.
You're
And for
welcome.
my 5th pick, just because of how there's like physically nothing there due to its size, we're gonna go Rhode Island. There's just nothing to write home about. They got like hardly any people. Name me a landmark in Rhode Island. I don't know that it's next door to New Jersey, which also fucking sucks. I mean,
Providence
what
is
is
in
the-
Rhode Island. Other than
yeah,
that,
there you go.
I got nothing.
yep. So if you can't name anything about it, it's going on the list.
Damn, I just thought of 2 ones that were way better than the ones I actually ended up drafting. So that's unfortunate.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. Throwing.
You guys are gonna hate this pick too, but I might as well keep continuing. The state with my legitimate least favorite city in the entirety of America.
Oh no. Oh no, he's doing it with Robbie on the pod.
Georgia. Atlanta is my least favorite city in the entirety of America. I cannot
Listen.
stand Georgia.
Listen.
The Atlanta
Listen here,
airport
boys.
makes me want to actually die.
No.
Airport.
Listen, the Atlanta airport isn't great, but it's also the busiest airport in the
Disagree.
world. And considering that fact, they do a pretty damn good job.
No, they
Like, I will
don't.
give them that.
There's
Yes,
2
they do.
security checkpoints and they're dog ass.
Get fucking pre-check. What is this
That's-
problem?
but blame
being
that on my
poor.
dad. That's our dad's fault. Oh no, we have to get world pass. Just shut up, Dad. Let me get pre-check. God.
I have no qualms with the Atlanta. I fly out of there a lot, so I kind of know like how to do it. But like, I have no issues with the Atlanta airport. The
it's
traffic
so
sucks,
awful.
but the city's great. There's so
No,
much
it's
stuff to
just
do.
not.
It's a nice city. I see no issues.
It's just so
Just
awful.
not.
I
I can't believe he went there.
I
thought he
had
might.
to, man. I was, I stayed with the hot takes.
My last one is actually a personal vendetta.
You see, that's what it was for me.
It's right next door to Georgia, and it's the lesser of the 2 Carolinas.
Damn right.
Fuck South Carolina. I fucking hate South Carolina.
South
South Carolina
Carolina?
has the worst roads of any state in the country. Myrtle Beach is gross. It's fun, but it's gross. I have nothing good to say about South Carolina.
Dude, we're talking about roads in comparison to Atlanta. Can anybody drive in Atlanta?
No, dude, you've not spent enough time in South Carolina. South Carolina's
What are you
roads are
talking
abysmal.
about? Bro, if there were worse drivers than people in Atlanta,
I'm not talking about the drivers. I'm talking about the roads themselves. The physical pavement, Connor,
Are
different.
we discussing roads in the south? Have you idiots never been to the north? Where the snow actually chews that shit up?
Yeah, that's a valid point, actually.
Fuck South Carolina. That's all I have to say.
That's fair.
They shouldn't be able to claim the Panthers. That makes me so angry. It's like, yeah, one Carolina. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Go cheer for Clemson or something. I don't care.
Go rush the field after you beat, like, I don't know.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
FCS school.
Any states? Wait. Do you have one more?
No.
Oh, that was right. Is there any
That's
states
it.
that were surprised that wasn't taken?
I
I'm
think we
surprised
all
we
didn't choose Alabama just because we live there.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I'm
We're a little biased on that one.
Michigan because like Detroit and because it's cold. It's
Detroit's getting better.
Yeah,
Detroit's getting better.
yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm surprised we didn't take Ohio, but I think we have a different opinion of Ohio versus
Ohio's
most people.
fine.
So.
Yeah, I don't know what the Ohio hate is, bro.
I can't believe y'all picked the 2 most recent states that I've lived in. By the way, that kind of hurts. Kind of hurts.
I spent a total of like 3 hours in Indiana and I wanted to leave.
You're wrong.
But yeah.
Very well.
So I guess that's the draft. Obviously, a lot of emotions have been expelled.
Connor lost. I think we can
Yeah,
all agree.
It's not even close. Honestly, it's really not close.
I'm just different.
I do want to TikTok. I think Ryan and I's need debated. I think we'll have some strong opinions on what Ryan and I chose. But
yeah.
Florida going 1-2 is just bad.
Robbie,
It's just really bad.
You need to edit a TikTok where it's not the draft. It's just Ryan. You have the number one pick, New Jersey, and that's just the end of the TikTok. That just needs to be the whole TikTok because he said it so fast.
I got
I was
locked in.
hoping and praying that I was going to get the number 1 pick.
So you could pick New Jersey.
I would have traded up. I would have given
Also-
you my 5th rounder.
Also, terrible accents in New Jersey too. Another thing to consider. Just the worst accents in the U.S.
They're just awful people.
Agreed.
I've
Golly.
never had a good conversation with somebody who hails from New Jersey.
Where is LaDon originally from?
Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, if I think that brings us to the end of it. Who wants to close us out?
I can wrap us up here. For myself, Ryan and Connor, thanks for tuning back in. We're gonna try our best to be a little more consistent, but life happens. So you'll get our best effort, and that's all we can give you.
Yep.
So, have a great day, evening, whatever it may be, and please gamble responsibly.
Thank you.